What's up, folks? This is Jasper Fox making yet another YouTube video. I'm going to turn this down now, and this will most likely be the only time, or the last time you'll hear me do dialogue. This is talking with Iska past H, and it's the last one. Let's do this. It all began when Barbaros destroyed Hungary, my homeland. Back then, my sister Alona was still with me. We were all alone in the world, and we lived together in a house on the outskirts of Buda. We tilled the land, grew wheat, and baked bread. It was so ordinary, but now that I look back on it, those were the happiest days of my life. I always promised my sister that I would protect her from any and all hardships. Barbaros took everything away from me. My homeland, my home, and my sister Alona. On that day, Barbaros appeared with his army. We ran from them, but they cornered us and there was nothing we could do. But my sister didn't give up. She sacrificed herself to let me escape. I ran and ran into the hills of Buda. I'll never forget that the side of the town when I look back on it. Buda was in flames, and the red sun was setting on the Danube. That was when I vowed to obtain power to ensure I would never lose again what I hold dear. So I changed my name to Iska and started on my journey. What was my real name? I've forgotten it. The name of a traitor. Oh, shit. Well, I'll go back and see that later. Sorry. What happened to Paracelsus? He was getting in the way, so I had to have him disappear. He was giving me too much information, so I had to alter my plans. I wanted to separate all of you, but he just ended up making you stick together more. In addition to that, he had you seal Soul Edge away. Then to top it all off, he told you to keep the sealed Soul Edge by your side. I got a little nervous about that one. My plans had to keep changing because of him. The professor knew what I was trying to do in the very beginning. I wonder, I have to think back when I met the professor. It was after I started on my journey. Well, let's talk about that. After I ran from Buda, I traveled to different countries. The Republic of Venice, the Kingdom of France, England. I learned many things on my journey. Like you can't trust anyone. I'm not the only person who is betrayed and lied to. It's just a fact of life. That was when I met Paracelsus, my professor. I met the professor at the University of Basel. He was a professor of medicine, but that was just for show. He ignored his students and devoted himself to his research of false human beings, such as homunculi. I was hired as his janitor. But he constantly fired his assistants, so eventually I became his assistant. That was when I learned the basics of alchemy. And the professor and I repeatedly experimented with creating false human beings. I'll be honest with you, during the research I did dream of resurrecting Alona. But a doll that just looks like Alona isn't important to me. What's important is Alona herself. So I created a false human being that just looked like my sister. And so creating a false human being that just looked like my sister held no meaning. That was when I learned about the legend of Soul Calibur and Soul Edge. The two swords were talked about among the alchemists. They said things like, "They are the ultimate ingredients in granting any wish, like the Philosopher's Stone." And then I found out that Barbaros' power had come from Soul Calibur. Barbaros was responsible for Alona's death. I wanted to defeat him no matter what. The only way to fight against Soul Calibur was to gain possession of Soul Edge. And if I obtained both swords, I would have the ultimate power that I desire. I decided to go on a journey to find Soul Edge and met the professor. Of course, that journey didn't go so well because Siegfried found it. That night, the night I decided to go on a journey to find Soul Edge, the professor made a discovery. An important discovery that brought him just one step away from actually being able to create a false human being. An electric shock went through my brain. That's what it really felt like. That's really what it felt like. I had an epiphany when I saw that discovery. I knew that was the last step to complete it. The next day, I stole the text with his notes and left on my journey. I headed for the Holy Roman Empire. Rumor had it that Barbaros was ready to invade the imperial city of Vienna, and the Emperor was looking for Soul Edge and wanted to fight off Barbaros. My next objective was to get into the inner circle of Soul Edge of the Empire and acquire information about Soul Edge. And so far, that plan actually worked. So Paracelsus wasn't lying when he said that Iska stole his text. With the results of the professor's research and the false human being I created, I secured an audience with the Emperor. Of course, the false human being was a little more than a doll. He could hardly speak. But the Emperor really liked it, and decided to take me on as his jester. The real Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire was known for being a wise ruler, and strong in battle. But even after winning a battle, there was only more fighting. No matter how many times you win, war never really ends. The Emperor understood that fact very well. That was why he was so absorbed in researching Soul Calibur and Soul Edge. Yes, the real Emperor was a man, and he was seeking ultimate power. I stayed by his side and tried to obtain information about Soul Edge. To truly protect one's people, one must destroy anything that could even potentially become a threat. That's what he always said. The Emperor became obsessed with his research. He was almost an invalid at the end. That's why I put him out of his misery. I placed a mask on my false human and had it take the Emperor's place. And that is how the masked Emperor we know was born. I suppose I was just giving in to my weakness when I made it look like a runner. Maybe the professor realized my objective when he found out that the masked Emperor was actually a woman. Once I was able to take control of the Empire with the masked Emperor as my puppet, I set out to find the cursed sword. During my research, I learned about a battle that had been waged over Soul Edge. I located Taki and Sophia, who had played a central role in that battle. And while I researched Cervantes, the former owner of Soul Edge, Ivy's name came up. I contacted them separately and asked for their help. They were so easy to fool. Well, Ivy, of course, she didn't realize that Cervantes was her father. This monster of a being. Well, you get it. The way I actually found Soul Edge was rather unexpected. It was when the evil seed appeared, and to be honest, I was as surprised by it as anyone else. Siegfried was at the center of the evil seed, and in his hands was Soul Edge. I transported the unconscious Siegfried to the imperial capital of Vienna. I tried to take Soul Edge from Siegfried, but it wasn't possible. And then we received information that Barbaros was heading for the imperial capital. So I decided to let Siegfried handle resurrecting Soul Edge and defeating Barbaros. You all know what happened after that. Barbaros and Siegfried had put me in an awkward position. Barbaros' army was getting stronger by assimilating the evils born from the evil seed. And Siegfried was too weak to stand against them alone. That's why I decided to get Ivy, Sophia, and Taki to help me. It was a poor plan considering that I was eventually going to take Soul Edge away from him, but I had no other choice. Barbaros had to be defeated or I would have no future. I'm very grateful you defeated them. Well, that's pleasant. The plan was to get rid of all of you once I had my hands on Soul Edge. I didn't expect the two swords to react in that way. Siegfried was sent flying and I went after him, hoping to finish him off. But he'd already gained consciousness by the time I got to him. So I changed my plan and decided to continue journeying with all of you. I was waiting for a chance to get rid of Siegfried and take Soul Edge from him. I just hadn't counted on Paracelsus. So, Siegfried and the Masked Emperor confronted each other before I could get my hands on Soul Edge. But at the last moment, I was able to accomplish my goals. The rest of you know. And that is the end of my ramblings. What are Soul Edge and Soul Calibur? What is true power? You'll have to find the answers to those questions on your own. Your journey has only just begun. Fortunately, I do know the answer to that. Soul Edge and Soul Calibur were weapons created by Algo. I think this is awesome. I'll never forget the sight of Tom when I look back at it. Buddha was in Flint. No. Yeah. The name of the traitor was enough for me. I was unable to keep my promise to my sister. That's unfortunate. Anyways, Soul Edge was created first by Algo as pure darkness of his heart. Unfortunately, his son Arturus tried to take Soul Edge Noctius from Algo, and it ended up killing his son. So Algo created Soul Calibur to destroy Soul Edge and any Malfested including. Unfortunately, there was a flaw in the plan, because like Soul Edge, Soul Calibur was made for one purpose, and its purpose is to destroy anything associated with Soul Edge no matter what. Soul Edge is corruption, but Soul Calibur is also the same, so in a way, the two aren't that different from each other. Soul Calibur might just be the Holy Sword, but that's just the title stamped onto it to ease Algo's guilt from about Arturus. So, what I'm saying in a nutshell, and in great length, is that Soul Calibur is no better than Soul Edge, as we've seen in Soul Calibur 5, where Elysium, Soul Calibur's true form, Soul Calibur's fighting form makes an appearance as Sophitia, Patroclus' mother, and the character you know in this game. And then it goes into this whole long story. Oh, here's a fun fact. Edgemaster, Keelik's instructor, and Algo, the creator of the two swords, they were rivals, believe it or not. All those years ago. I don't know the soul connection, but I do know that they were enemies and still are enemies. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. And thank you for watching. I do hope you appreciated this video. You can like, you can comment, you can share this video if you want. You can subscribe to my channel or search my channel to find more videos like this. And I'll get back to more gameplays, blog songs, things like that. Potentially more gameplays with Soul Calibur Legends, just because a lot of people want to see the unlocked versions. So yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks so much. This is Jasper Fox signing out.